Picture this. You're walking through tall grass. It's about 100,000 years ago, and the sun is just starting to set. Suddenly, you hear a rustle right behind you. You turn around, and boom! Two yellow eyes reflecting the last bit of daylight. You are staring down a cave lion. Now, this isn't your average zoo lion. We're talking twice the size of anything alive today. 700 pounds of pure muscle, claws, and teeth. And it's looking directly at you.
And here's the terrifying reality. You don't have a gun, no knife, you don't even have a sharp stick. Your teeth are totally flat and your nails completely useless. You can't outrun this thing, you definitely can't outclimb it, and fighting it is completely off the table. When you think about it, we were born with a severe biological deficit compared to the absolute monsters roaming the ancient world.
So that brings us to the central mystery of this explainer. If we were slower, weaker, and basically unequipped for a fight, how are you still here? Like really, how did our completely outmatched ancestors manage to survive when literally everything else on Earth was custom-built to kill them?
Part 1. Born to be prey. To really grasp how we survived, we have to look at the archaeological origins of our story. And honestly, they're incredibly grim. Back in 1924 in South Africa, an archaeologist named Raymond Dart found the skull of a 3-year-old early human ancestor. Right through the eye sockets were 2 holes, perfectly spaced to match a leopard's fangs. This was no accident. For millions of years, guys, we were not the hunters. We were actively being hunted.
Just think about the brutal math of the prehistoric savanna for a second. Your bite force right now? It's about 162 pounds per square inch. But a cave hyena, which, by the way, hunted our ancestors in massive, terrifying packs at night, packed a bite force of 1,100 pounds per square inch. They were literally crushing solid bone just to get to the marrow inside.
And hyenas were just the warm-up act. You had 600-pound saber-toothed cats exploding out of the tall grass at 30 miles an hour. Short-faced bears standing 12 feet tall, pure hyper-carnivores sprinting at 40 miles an hour. Oh, and down in South America, 10-foot-tall terror birds with skull-shattering beaks. Now contrast all that nightmare fuel with us. We had terrible night vision, our upright posture made us visible for absolute miles, and our babies, they screamed constantly. By every single biological metric, we should be extinct, but we're not. They are. So, what actually changed?
Part 2. The first weapon. Fire.
Digging deeper into the archaeological record, a massive game-changer pops up about 1 million years ago in Wonderwork Cave over in South Africa. We're talking burned bones, ash layers, hearths. This is the absolute earliest solid evidence of controlled fire.
And here is why fire was such a big deal. 30. That's the magic number. A standard campfire creates a safety zone roughly 30 feet in diameter. And those predators? They are biologically hardwired to stay far, far away from it. For the very first time, the monsters couldn't touch us.
But fire wasn't just a shield. It provided essential warmth for our basically hairless bodies. It brought light to the pitch-black nights. Suddenly, our ancestors had 3 to 4 extra hours every single night to sit around, plan, talk, and craft tools, instead of just cowering in absolute silence. And crucially, it meant we could cook meat. Cooked meat equals way more calories, which directly fueled the evolution of much bigger, much more complex brains.
Part 3. Endurance and observation. Now, with those bigger brains came some brilliant and honestly pretty grueling new tactics. Look, we are terrible sprinters, right? But we are incredible distance runners. So we invented persistence hunting. We didn't outrun our prey, we just outlasted them. Because we can sweat to cool down, and most animals can't, our ancestors would just track an animal at a steady jog for hours, 3 to 6 hours, just keeping it moving until it literally collapsed from heat stroke. We are the only species on Earth that hunts exactly like this.
And we paired that insane physical endurance with razor-sharp observation. Our brains evolved to recognize complex patterns. A broken twig wasn't just a twig anymore. It meant something heavy had just walked through there. We figured out predator schedules. We learned that saber-tooths love to ambush near water at dusk, so we made sure we weren't there. And we compounded all this survival knowledge generation after generation.
Part 4. The ultimate weapon. Empathy.
Because as it turns out, our greatest survival tool wasn't a physical weapon at all. The archaeological origins of this are just stunning. Take the 1.8 million-year-old skull found in Georgia. It has completely lost all its teeth. Or the 60,000-year-old Neanderthal from Schöningen Cave in Iraq, who was blind in one eye and had a crippled arm. Both of these individuals survived for years with severe disabilities. Why?
Because someone was literally chewing their food for them. Someone was fiercely protecting them.
There's a quote that just nails this perfectly. A lion with no teeth dies. A human with no teeth gets taken care of. That right there is what separated us from mere instinct-driven killers. We didn't just cooperate. We actually cared. Empathy was our ultimate shield.
And over time, that deep social bond translated into a highly lethal, coordinated strategy. Sure, wolves hunt in packs on instinct, but humans, we hunt with specific roles. We communicated complex, multi-step plans, like driving herds of animals toward cliffs or strategically cutting off their escape routes. By 400,000 years ago, archaeologists have found these perfectly aerodynamic wooden spears in Germany, specifically designed to kill from 30 feet away. A tight-knit pack of humans with spears and a solid plan, they could absolutely take down a saber-tooth.
Part 5. From Prey to Apex.
Which brings us to the thrilling climax of this whole story. Around 50,000 years ago, humans started migrating out of Africa in huge numbers, spreading across the globe, and a stunning, undeniable pattern emerged. Everywhere we went, the mega predators completely vanished. Cave lions, gone by 14,000 years ago. Short-faced bears, wiped out 11,000 years ago. Saber-tooths, history by 10,000 years ago. We didn't just survive them, we eliminated them.
Because here is the bottom line. Evolution gave every predator one massive, specialized advantage: insane speed, brute strength, lethal venom, or perfect camouflage. But evolution's gift to humans? Adaptability. We couldn't outbite a hyena, so we teamed up in groups. We couldn't see in the dark, so we tamed fire. We literally invented a solution to every single biological weakness we had.
For 2 million years, our ancestors hid in trees and ran from shadows. But they learned, they taught, and they endlessly adapted. Evolution built the monsters, but we outlasted them. So I'll leave you with this explainer's final thought, something to really chew on. What does it mean for our planet now that the ancient monsters are gone, and only we remain?